So today I'm going to show you a really simple seed starting method that allows you to plant your seedlings directly into your garden with zero transplant shock. And of course, as usual, we have some great tips for you along the way. So most gardeners plant their seeds in seed trays, and then something frustrating happens. It's time to plant them in the garden, and they pull them out of the seed tray, and the roots get damaged, and they go through transplant shock. And transplant shock can slow your plant growth, stunt your vegetables, and even kill your seedlings. So there's a much easier way. Instead of removing the plant from the pot, you can plant the entire pot in your garden instead. So this is where peat pots come in, and they're also called fiber pots. And in these, you're going to plant your vegetables that have sensitive roots and can easily go into transplant shock. Peat pots are biodegradable, and they're made from recycled cardboard, which means that the pot will naturally break down in the soil. And that means the roots of your plant never get disturbed. The vegetables with delicate roots that don't like to be transplanted are squash, cucumber, beans, peas, nasturtiums, pumpkins, zucchini, and melon. I'm starting all of those today except for peas, because those are a cold season crop, and here in Mallorca, it's gotten quite warm. So everything I'm seeding today needs to be seeded indoors 2 to 4 weeks before planting outside. When you're planting in peat pots, you want to have a short start indoors because you don't want them to get too big before you plant them out in your garden. Okay, the supplies you're going to need today are some seed starting soil mix, organic of course, and I've actually moistened this soil a bit so it feels damp. And then you're going to need your peat pots, some labels, and your spray bottle, and your seeds, of course. So the first thing I'm going to do is fill up my peat pots with my seed starting soil. Don't press down. So the first seeds I'm going to start today are butternut squash. Now, don't forget to read on the back of the package to see how deep you're going to be planting your seeds. And in this package, it says 2 centimeters, which is about 3/4 of an inch. Now I'm going to make the holes. And then I'm going to put the seeds in. And then I'm going to add a little bit of soil on top. And we've done our first row. And don't forget to put your label in. So next, I'm going to do melons. So put the seeds in your hands. And don't forget to read on the back of your seed package what your seed depth needs to be. This says 2 centimeters. So I'm going to make my holes 2 centimeters. Put 1 in each. And cover with a little bit of soil. And stick your label in. So if you don't have any peat pots, you can use egg cartons, and I'm going to show you how to do that next. So what I've done is I've cut the lid off of it, and these were pointing up, so I cut them down a little bit too. So I'm going to seed nasturtiums in this egg carton today, but first I'm going to fill it up with seed starting soil mix. Nasturtiums also need to be seeded at a depth of 2 centimeters, which is about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to make the holes. And I'm going to cover them with a little bit of extra soil. Here, and put the label in, of course. If you don't have peat pots and you don't have egg cartons, I'm sure you have toilet rolls, and these you can use as your peat pots. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So what you're going to do with your toilet rolls is you're going to make them into little pots. So you're going to fold one end in like this. And then you're going to put them in a tray. Now, I like using a deep tray for my peat pots because they do tend to get quite wet and tend to fall apart. So I use a little deeper tray. So if you don't have a deep tray like this, you can always go out to your kitchen and find something. You can find a baking pan or something in your kitchen to put them in. So this is really important. When you do go out and plant these in your garden, what you're going to do is you're going to rip this off. They tend to become a little soggy, so they're easy to rip off. And then you're going to pinch off the bottom of the peat pot and even the bottom of the egg carton. You're going to pinch that off before you plant them. And when you plant them, make sure all of the peat pot and the egg carton is underneath the soil. Today I've seeded 2 types of cucumbers for salads and 2 types for pickling. And then I've seeded 3 types of zucchinis, a yellow kind here called Gold Rush. I've also seeded nasturtiums. And then I've seeded 3 types of squashes, 1 butternut, 1 winter squash, and 1 called sweet dumpling. And then I've also seeded melon. And I've also seeded green beans. The last thing I'm going to do is water. And I'm going to go over these a couple of times. Seed pots are so great because you don't have to transplant your seedlings into larger pots before you put them outdoors. They can go directly out into your garden with these. So if you want healthier seedlings with no transplant shock, you can plant them in peat pots, egg cartons, or even toilet rolls. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to press the like and subscribe button.